listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's RuPaul's Drag Race After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's RuPaul's Drag Race After Show.
Yeah. Oh, we don't get no claps, no nothing, Steven. Oh, okay, there we go.
There you go. I was like, wow.
Right? It was all silent and quiet.
It was improvisation.
It was a build.
What's up, everybody? Bing is for doing, and here we are doing another after show for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 5, Episode 4, Black Swan, Why I Gotta Be Black.
And how appropriate today.
Very appropriate, because clearly we have all three black co-hosts and hosts here in the studio. Speaking of my co-hosts, let's introduce you guys. Starting to my left, we have very ultra special guests in the house. From the pit crew, we have
Jason J. Carter. Hello. So glad to be here, Tony. You know, I love watching the show, especially for you, because thank God for you.
You are, stupid and get your life.
Yes, God, honey.
And also joining us, we have one of the original hosts of our RuPaul's Drag Race AfterBuzz After Show,
Cameron Marston.
That's how he was.
That good? Yeah. Was that close?
That was a little bit too much energy, though.
Cameron Marston.
There you go.
No, this is Kenny Harrison. I'm glad to be back. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I'm just filling in for Cam and Jackie.
Yes.
And hi, kids back home.
Welcome back. Well,
Thank
Jackie and Cameron could not make it this evening. They are dealing with some other obligations. So you will see them back here next week. And I don't want y'all to think that I am running all the hosts off, because every time we come back, somebody's missing.
It's like musical chairs of hosts.
But I'm still here.
I'm here.
But it's not my fault. I
was here.
Well, I think Jason and I will try to hold down the fort while they're gone.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, for sure.
Please do. And holding down the booth, we have Steven.
What up, guys?
How's it going? We usually have Marissa, but Steven's.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Steven wasn't ready for that. How you doing? You weren't ready for all that, were you?
No, I wasn't ready for that.
What's that voice? That's a lot going on over
I'm
there,
on the
Steven.
Brady Bunch, guys. My voice is changing.
I actually sounded like that. Summer of '94. It was my mom used to tell me, "Shut up, don't talk," because you sound a mess.
No, I need
It's
you
like,
to get
Mom,
your life.
I'm just going through the change.
You're still going through the change. All right, so we're going to get into another episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. Yes, this is...
Don't sound so excited.
I know, what's that face?
Well, I mean, this episode, I thought, is actually one of my favorites. I thought it was a fun episode until we got to the elimination, and we'll get to that. Well, I should say it had the potential of being fun.
Right.
I had a good time watching it,
Of course.
but I think it could have been better. So starting off, we have the mini challenge, which is the Soul Train dance off.
Super fun.
I thought it was super fun too, and I thought it was creative, and I thought it was something different that we haven't seen, and it makes people who don't have the dance gene dance.
You know, it was so funny filming it, because RuPaul is so... What you see on camera is actually how he really is.
Yes.
When we're filming that scene, he was more full out than the queens. I mean, he was pulling out stuff. I was like, Ru, slow down there. He was popping and locking. I for sure thought he was gonna do a baby freeze, break out into, like, I don't know, some river dance or something. But it was full out, man. It was full out.
But I think just as a performer in general, like, you should bring to the table whatever it is you can do, even if you can't dance. You know,
go
do
hard
something.
To go home, right?
Yeah, go hard to go
I
home.
totally agree.
Yeah.
I think there were some that were just like, you come on, you gotta fake it until you make it, and it was just like, really?
Well,
Some of them.
see, that's the thing with some of these drag queens, though. We forget. Okay, so we live in Los Angeles, right?
Yes.
We're groomed, especially us in this business. We're groomed to always be what they call on. You know, make sure all of our skills are on point. You know, at the drop of a hat, we can perform like we're like monkeys. Dance, you now jump, and we do.
Right.
Whereas some of these queens are plucked from obscurity, a videotape, and they've never ever really been. To them, being a drag queen is just getting dolled up, being the illusionist, and just doing it.
No, that's to some.
To
other
some.
people, you know, they truly enjoy the art of performing, whether it's becoming a different character, doing an illusion. And I feel like as a drag queen, you bring to the table what you can bring. If you are a performer, a dancer, whatever, that's what you do. If you can't do that, your other element is to make sure you're theatrical and have costumes the house down.
Sure.
Like that's what people do. When you don't know what you are and what you can do, then you're just kind of stuck.
Right.
Well, I think when you get to this competition, you have to know your stick. What's the word?
Your shtick.
Shtick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And both in the mini challenge and in the actual main challenge, there were a lot of performances where I was just like, "Come on, you can give me something. You may not be the best dancer,
Yeah.
but do something.
But do something.
Give me something.
Do
more.
something.
I don't know if we're
Yeah.
gonna go down the line or whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna for you guys. Did anyone during the mini challenge stand out or stick out?
RuPaul.
Me.
Yeah, you were good. I remember
Get
that.
your-
Yeah.
Jason
Thanks.
Carter, get your life coming down the
Actually,
Soul Train line.
After Buzzers, what you saw was just a snippet of actually what I do. RuPaul had to kind of cut me. He was like, "All right, bro. You mean you're showing me up a little bit. Calm it down." But I loved Alyssa. Alyssa Edwards is an actual dancer. I thought she was really good. And I also liked Roxy. I thought Roxy was pretty funny.
But see, the thing is, I was actually surprised that Alyssa didn't give me more. Like I was expecting Alyssa, the dancer. I expected like dance, and she gave me.
well,
I actually don't remember her.
See?
The ones I remember were Coco,
Yes.
maybe because she was first,
Yeah.
and Mahogany.
Coco was giving you classic Soul Train. Like
Right.
she actually went to one of the tapings.
She probably did.
And
well, I mean, she is 39. She's probably in line, you know.
doing it along with the Asian chick with the long hair
And also,
and Rosie Perez.
there you go. And the girl
Getting
that
that
had,
life.
do you remember?
I just thought.
Getting
do you
that
remember
life.
do you remember the girl with the pigtails that had like the long pigtails in the
But I
90s?
remember the Asian girl with the long hair.
With the
all way
long
down
hair,
to her-
all
yeah.
the way down, and she was always in the Soul Train line,
And
getting
she
it,
worked it every time.
getting it. That's
God,
what Coco
I
gave.
think we're aging ourselves.
Um,
At least I know.
Y'all are aging
Alyssa-
yourself.
Alyssa-
I saw it on YouTube.
Alyssa looked good. Alyssa was also in 5-Inch Heels though, and then like a
So?
show.
Matter.
What I'm saying is that for what she was wearing, I thought that she gave it. And the song that was being played on set wasn't the most
same song.
amazing. Yeah. So
Either way, as a performer,
Bring it.
you're given something and you do what you can with it.
And she
Point
did.
blank and period.
She
well, I think she could have. I
But
think she
you
could
know,
have did a little bit more.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate on
Oh,
this.
here you go.
On this typical Cameron. You know, it where you're supposed to bring it every time. This is also, I'm assuming that they're just given this as soon as RuPaul walks in, so they don't
Yeah.
really know exactly what's gonna happen.
But even that, still have fun with it.
It's true.
I feel like they were. I feel like they were kind of half-assing it, to be honest. Like this was something. Slap on a wig, put on some makeup, and just like even if you can't do something. Just have fun with it.
Well, I think we're over analyzing the situation a little bit. I think for viewing
Well, we
pleasure.
need
Well,
to.
what's the
No, I know.
We need
Why
to.
are we here? No, but
No
for
bullying.
viewing pleasure, it wasn't that bad, and it was exciting. And like you said, you know, they're told on the spot, this is what you're gonna do, keep it moving, make it happen. And so
Yeah.
it was pretty entertaining. And Alaska, throughout the course of the episode, says, "I'm not a dancer. This is what I do. This is what I stick to."
Right.
You know. So and he did that.
But he somewhat brought it. Whatever. But anyway, so we had the winners. They had to pick somebody. 2 people had to win, and Coco won, which I agree with, and Jinx won, which I thought Jinx brought whatever it was that she bought. She did a good job.
I'm gonna throw this out there, and maybe we can debate this. I feel like this season, especially, the show has become too predictable. Or let me rephrase that because I wrote it down. I think the producers have made it to where they're forcing the contestants to be in certain situations, and I only say that because Coco, knowing that Alyssa is a dancer, and knowing that the drama that has happened between them, knowing that she was going to get the first pick, she picked Alyssa first.
But do you think they were really expecting that though? Because
I think so.
Because for me, I was shocked too.
I
was like, it's like I get it, but it's like you have beef with this person. Like you are so thrilled this whole competition. She has rattled your chain since you walked in, and now you're the first person you go with is Alyssa. Now I loved her explanation. Like I'm
in
no
it
dummy.
to win it. Yeah,
I'm in it to win it. So in that place, I got it. I understood why she did it, but at the same time, it was kind of like I didn't expect it.
I didn't either.
That would have been the last person I would have thought she would have wanted.
Maybe I'm just.
And I mean, and harken what you say, Kenny. It's reality TV, and I do, they of course they have to. Every reality TV show has to have stories. Like American Idol has stories. They have to have, because if you really think about it, if we just set up a camera. Okay, we put up a camera in here and we just talk all day, and it would be kind of boring because we're just being we're there's no kind of flower to bloom for the show. So of course they have to every season do storylines and have to have something to build off of. Every season, like it was Willem last season, Shangela, there's arcs in order to keep us enthralled and into the show.
Right.
However, with Coco and Alyssa, first of all, I had no clue they had beef. When I started watching, because everyone thinks that I know what's going on in the show, I have no clue. When I started watching the show, I was like, shut the hell up. They have beef, really?
Yeah.
And then when she picked her, I was shocked too. I was like, no. And I don't really think, I could be wrong, but from time to, I don't think the producers would tell her, okay, pick Alyssa.
Yeah.
I don't think they told her. I think knowing that she knows that Alyssa is a great dancer, why would you not pick her?
Well, yeah.
But that's just me.
Honestly,
I see things.
I thought Coco did a great job with the Soul Train line dance, which I saw why they picked her as captain, but I was still shocked about the whole Alyssa thing because I didn't expect it. And classic editing, I loved everyone's reactions afterwards. She was like, Alyssa Edwards. Everyone was like, dun, dun, dun. And Detox was my favorite.
She's always great. I like her reactions.
I do too. So, and then Jinx was the other winner, which I was surprised about. Jinx is not a dancer at all, but she was very entertaining.
Jinx is always entertaining.
I don't remember.
There weren't very many memorable performances, but those...
I remember the bad ones and Coco. I do think Coco deserved it.
Yeah, because she got down with it.
Yeah.
So then from that, Coco and Jinx become the team captains for the main challenge, which is hashtag no RuPaulologies, the RuPaul ballet, the story of RuPaul.
Hilarious.
I love the concept.
I love it too.
This is by far the best challenge concept in the show's history.
Me too. I thought it was so entertaining, and I was so anticipating the whole challenge and waiting to like watch it.
And I'm assuming it was all real.
Do you think this challenge was the best?
I think so. As far as the concept, the execution was not the best.
Well, yeah.
The concept,
but the whole concept of it.
Gotcha.
I mean, Snatch Game we've seen, and we'll see it next week.
We'll see it next week.
But this was, one of my favorites.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, and I've seen all seasons of Drag Race.
Yeah.
This one definitely sticks out.
It was more original, I guess.
Yeah.
As opposed to,
And I like the fact that they brought in Travis Wall and Nick Lazzarini to come in and choreograph, and Travis Wall guest judge along with Chaz Bono.
Where was Neil from season 3?
Season 3 of.
So you're thinking dance?
Well, those two
still dancing.
Travis Wall and Nick Lazzarini were also featured on another World of Wonder show called All the Right Moves. That's why. It was just cross publicity.
Yeah, I know.
Cross promo.
I know.
As Ru stated when she opened, who has all the right moves? I was like, okay,
but they're exquisite dancers.
They are.
Yeah.
And they have their own dance company, Shaping Sounds. So I think they still have that. So anyway, going with the main challenge and the teams, we had Coco, Alyssa, Vivian, Detox, Honey, Roxy. Jinx had Alaska, Ivy, Lanesha, and Jade. One thing that I was surprised about was this sudden beef between Vivian and Roxy.
That came out of nowhere.
It really came out of nowhere. And Vivian thought that Roxy overshadowed her in the last challenge. What was your take on, in the last challenge, they had the kids show.
Right.
And Roxy was Tasha Salad and Vivian was Auntie Somebody. Whoops. What did you guys feel? Do you feel that Roxy overshadowed Vivian, and is Vivian right for having beef with her?
I think Roxy has overshadowed her throughout the season. I mean, I think Vivian is a pretty girl. I think she's okay, but she does blend in.
She's not a. She's right. She's for sure a wallflower. Roxy on set's energy is amazing.
It's different.
Even Roxy. I mean, first of all, I love all the queens. Just disclaimer: all you guys were amazing in season 5. You guys were epic. However, Roxy just has that it. We always talk about
It's
it.
the it factor.
And Vivian
swag.
I feel like Vivian sometimes was maybe, like Michelle says, resting on pretty. You know, they're not you. It's like if Beyonce, well, I'm beautiful, but I'm not going to give you a good show. It'd be a crime punishable by death. Same thing on the show. You have to pull out all the stops. And Roxy was just doing her. I do think that Vivian's overshadowed in every episode by somebody else because she has a more softer approach to things. And in the competition show, either you are the iron fist and the velvet glove and you're going for it, or you're full balls out to the wall.
Yeah.
However, Vivian's neither of those things. She's just there. So that's why these other people are leaving her in the dust. So I do.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I also agree. Well, going back to what Tony introduced, the whole their beef is, if we would have seen it before, it would have made sense. Like if it just so happens that this episode it just came to light, and it was just kind of like,
well,
okay.
But I was just kind of like, I don't understand what's going on. Like why?
Because
all
we
of a
haven't
sudden
seen it. I'm sure it probably happens all the time behind the scenes, but we haven't seen it.
And they can't have two, within a show, any show, they can't have two, I guess, duels between two people going on at once. It's hard enough to get into the Coco and Alyssa stuff and keep on track with that. Than to have
totally over that.
Right, but then to have now it's Vivian and Roxy with beef. It's keep it moving.
Well, the Coco and Alyssa thing, I think, could be solved just by one conversation between them.
They had that last week though.
Barely.
And it was F you, Alyssa.
Yeah, that wasn't really a conversation. I think that with their situation, it's a lot of he say, she say. I think that's involved. And I think if they talk to each other and just realize that, Alyssa, Coco couldn't back down from taking your spot if they chose to dethrone you. Right. Like she couldn't, she's obligated to do that. But whatever. I'm sure the whole Coco and Alyssa thing will come back into play again at some point.
I'm sure it will.
But as far as Vivian and Roxy, I thought Roxy was bringing her A game. Roxy did what she had to do to stay in the race, be in the competition, and make the kids show funny. And I feel like Vivian could have, instead of letting that personality back down, she should have taken the advice that Ru and Michelle gave her and bring it up. Make sure you match the energy and the personality that Roxy is giving. Like basically Roxy was like, here's my energy, now come up and match it.
You should. It's just, this is a competition show. You're hired. Ru brings you onto the show as a professional in what you do.
Right.
It's so, I mean, and it's not like this is the first season. It's not like it's the first American Idol where you don't know what to expect. There is 4 previous seasons of Drag Race that have evolved and created this culture of what not to do and what to do on the show. You're basically getting the keys to the castle.
Yes.
On how to stay in the race, what to do. But if you really took notes over the years and you're really that committed to being a drag queen. So I mean, with Vivian and with Roxy and her energy, bomb. But like you said, Tony, it's if me and you were on a show together.
Good luck to you.
And we were in a challenge together. Yeah. Yes, for sure, I would match your energy because that's what professionals do. They find a way to make it cohesive.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, for casting reasons, you can't have 10 Roxys on the same show and have 0 Vivians. You know what I mean? You need a balance. Yeah, you have to have a balance, and I think that's every season of the show.
Of course, yeah. But the question was, the issue on the show, the question and the issue on the show was Vivian being irritated by Roxy, and do we feel that Roxy overshadowed her, and that's the reason that happened.
Yeah. Right.
But you make a valid point. You have to have a mix of different characters in order to make it.
So speaking of, we have someone on the line, and I believe it's someone that can probably shed a little bit more light. Caller, you are on AfterBuzz TV After Show for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 5. Who you are and where you calling from? Hi, is this Vivian?
This is Vivian. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, honey.
You called in right in time because we were just discussing in this episode of Drag Race, we were kind of introduced to a little tiff or beef between you and Roxy. And you felt that Roxy overshadowed you in last week's episode. Looking back on everything, like, how do you still have that same thought, or have your thoughts changed on that, or how do you feel?
Well, I have I actually do have an explanation for what I said about Roxy.
Okay.
Last week, yes, I did say that I felt like she overpowered me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was not saying that because I was, pissed off that she overpowered me. I was just stating that that's how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
But they also took things that I had said throughout the whole time I was there about Roxy and pasted it right after to make it seem like I was really bitter about that last challenge.
Right.
The way I feel of Roxy is completely personal. It has nothing to do with her drag because I think she's absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she's very, very talented. But I think that her energy is really nasty, and that is where all that came from.
Oh, I see. So, when you say, like, does she just seem like a very mean person and mean-spirited, or do you think that...
Well, no, I don't think she's mean, and I really don't want to be, like, throwing shade at her right now, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I think that she has a bad energy about her where she doesn't want to let anyone in, and she's pretty much telling you without even saying words to get away from me. I have no interest in talking to you. I think that she is a little stuck up, and she thinks she's better than other people, and that's just something that I don't stand for. I was able to build a connection with every single girl there, even Penetration, who was there for only the first episode. I have the ability to connect with just about anyone if they're willing, and Roxy is the type that she has something about, and I don't know if maybe she knew that I could see right through her, but she didn't want to let me in particular, I felt.
Right.
Her only friend there, I felt, was Detox.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like maybe Roxy may be one of those people that, like, you have to get to know her over time. And I don't know Roxy either, but I've dealt with some people like that who don't quickly let you in. They have to kind of study you and know you more before they let a wall down, which maybe it sounds like that's why I suddenly sound like Dr. Phil. Maybe
well,
that's
no,
why.
And,
or
you
Dr.
know what?
Drew.
I agree with you because I'm kind of like that, but my energy, I do not have that energy though. You know, I don't let people in very easily, and I do stay cautious. However, my energy is always pleasant, always, because I think that you should give everyone the chance to think you're at least pleasant.
Yeah.
Vivian, did you think... Hi, it's Jason here. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi, sweetie. Did you think that maybe possibly because the point you're making is that, and I agree with you 100%, you should at least... People should give a chance to at least get to know you on a surface level before they totally shut you out. Do you think maybe... I mean, you are a very beautiful queen. First and foremost, you're like,
Thank you.
And when I saw you at the premiere, I was like, oh my God, drop dead, gorgeous.
Thank you so
yes, no problem. But do you think that maybe Roxy was intimidated by you as far as your beauty goes and what you were bringing to the table?
You know what? I honestly cannot answer that, but what I will say is that she's absolutely gorgeous too, and there is no reason why she should have been, if it were the case. There's no reason why she should have been because I think she's very talented and she's very gorgeous in her own, So if she was, then that would have been her problem and nobody else's, But I don't want to say that she was because she has so much going on for her. I don't know why she would be.
Yeah.
I have a quick question because it was brought up by the judges that you were recycling the same look over and over again on the runway. What was your preparation coming into the show? I mean, what did you...
I think that was funny. Who was doing the cat hands over again.
Yeah, that was...
To a certain extent, well, I know Michelle kept saying, or I think it was Santino in 2 nights ago, in the episode, he said, "Look around you, look at your competition." What was your expectations coming into the show?
Well, I definitely I definitely thought there was going to be a lot of competition there for sure. However, and I'm not saying I relied on Pretty, but that is my thing. I know for a fact, and I'm not being cocky, I'm just saying that my thing is beauty. I've been in the beauty industry for 9 years. That is my obsession. I've been obsessed with beauty since I was really little, and that is my thing.
Yeah.
So going into the competition, and I'm not throwing shade, but judging from last season, I definitely thought I was going to be the prettiest one, you know? So
I love
so
it.
whenever I got there, I was like, oh, shit, there are so many pretty girls here, you know?
Vivian.
But as far as my runway goes, you know, I really don't have an excuse for that. All I can say is that, you know, it was a really long day, and I was changing into something that I thought I looked good in, which I do still stand by that. I still think I looked good in it. But maybe the judges just weren't liking it compared to everybody else.
That's right. They thought she was too. She played it down a lot. Other than like all the other queens were there, bedazzled, rhinestone, big everything, and she came very. It kind of reminded me of All Stars when Juju and Raven came in, and they were just very simple. Like Juju had on like a very like black dress, a simple black dress. Raven just had on a dress, and I actually thought your runway look, I liked it. I thought the red hair you looked amazing in. I don't know. I guess for me, sometimes I know drag is supposed to be over the top, but for me, sometimes clean, simple, and classic
is easier on the eye.
Is good too.
But I think for me, Go ahead. Sorry, no, go ahead.
Vivian, I was gonna say that, and just echoing what Tony says, you've never looked bad this season on the runway. You stated it yourself. Your thing is beauty. You know you're beautiful, and you had made the statement that I don't want to come off arrogant or cocky. Love bug, own it, because if you don't own it, no one else is going to. However, I will say, do you think, watching back all 4 seasons prior, I mean, till your elimination, do you think that maybe, and I don't want to say you were resting on Pretty, but do you think that if you would have given maybe a little bit more on top of the beauty, you would have lasted longer in the competition?
That's a good question. Possibly. You know, I think that I have a lot of feelings towards what has happened, and a lot of it I don't think I should share. However, I think that that's a possibility. You know, I guess that's all I can say, that is a possibility. I do think I should have been there longer. I do think that I had a lot more to offer. I do think that I have a great personality, which was not shown in the show. And, yeah, I do think that I should have lasted longer. Now, do I think that I rested on Pretty? You know, that's the one thing that I've been getting a lot, and even from the judges, but you know, like I said, that is kind of my thing, and I'm not saying it's good enough to win the competition, but it was my confidence in my beauty was good enough to get me on the show.
Yeah.
And I definitely thought that me being true to who I am and embracing the art of drag, not just lip syncing, because I don't think drag is all about lip syncing in a bar. I think that it definitely should have gotten me into at least the top 6, you know, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I was going to ask you, Vivian, real quick. How did you? What was going through your mind when Ru announced that it was going to be a double elimination? She didn't keep either one of you or Honey.
Yeah.
What was going?
You know what? First off, I thought that there was going to be a double elimination eventually in the competition because there were 14 girls, and you know my wheels are kind of turning. And I think maybe that is part of what worked against me, because my wheels were turning a little too much during the competition. But when she announced it, I wasn't surprised. I really wasn't, and that's why they should have clipped me saying, of course it was double elimination. Why wouldn't it be? Because I honestly, I knew it was going to happen eventually. I just didn't know it was going to be me. As far as the lip sync goes, you know, I love Honey, and I definitely have to say that I would still be okay if she ended up staying. But I do think I did better at the lip sync. I was doing what I do best, serving beauty, serving face, and it may have not been good enough for the judges. But yeah, I mean, that's just, it is what it is. What I will say about the lip sync, though, is everyone's saying it was the most boring lip sync. you know, editing has a lot to do with it. I understand that's not a huge excuse, but I've seen some other lip syncs on the show, and I don't think it's the most boring. I think it's just the fact that we were both thrown off that everyone's claiming it's the most boring lip sync ever.
It wasn't the most boring lip sync ever, but like, you know, and you watch yourself back every week, and I'm sure you're brutally honest with yourself. When I was watching the lip sync, and like I said, Vivian, you were one of my favorite queens on this show this season. You know, and not just working with you guys on set, but actually watching it, I get to see, because I mean, I never got to see what you guys actually did because I was always, you know, rushed off set. So watching you this season, I loved you. I loved your energy. I thought you were great. You're adorable. You definitely beauty. Your beauty emanates to the screen epically. But watching the lip sync, I couldn't help but wonder if, were you tired? Were you just like spent at that point? Were you just like, ugh? You know, like the course of the competition, you guys were working so hard to create these costumes, to be on point on these challenges. Were you just like, you know what, whatever, let's just do this, go hard or go home?
All of the above. You know, people don't realize that we're filming for like sometimes 12 to 14 hours a day. It's very, very exhausting. Yeah. And the tension is very high. The emotions are, you know, a little crazy. So yes, I was definitely exhausted, but I think for me, I towards the end, I was starting to feel a little defeated, and for that challenge, I put it all aside and I said, look, I have to tackle this challenge and do it to the best of my ability. I think I did, and I'm very proud of myself for doing it because I'm not a dancer, and I proclaimed that from the get-go. I think for me, though, I felt a little defeated, but I also felt a little angry, though, because I don't think the bottom two was what it was supposed to be. You know, what you guys did not see is that Roxy had about 3 dance moves. It was a hop, skip, and a jump, and she couldn't even do that. And it was a dancing challenge, and I did a lot better than her, and if anyone was going to be in the bottom, it should have been Roxy.
Real quick.
So to answer your question, I was a little, I think towards the lip sync, I was a little confused, defeated, and angry.
Yeah. So real quick before we have to let you go, Vivian, looking back on all of the episodes, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Absolutely. I would have still been focused on the competition, but I would have been a little more in the moment. I felt like I was so stressed and so worried about pleasing the judges and what am I going to do this time and what are they not going to like and how am I going to get the judge to like me because I really didn't feel like they did. And all this negativity that was building up in my head, it prevented me from being in the moment and really enjoying this honor and this gift that I was given. And I really, really wish that I could have just taken it all in and enjoyed it for what it was worth.
Yeah. Well, Vivian,
but I'm so grateful and no regrets whatsoever. You know, if Ruth said that we have to film season 5 all over again and everything's going to stay the same, I would do it in a split second.
That is awesome. Well, Vivian, thank you so much for calling in, and best of luck to you.
Yes,
and
for sure.
I'll see you next week.
Yes, absolutely. And Mickey's.
Yes. So it's going to be a good time. Thank you. And we'll talk soon. All right. So now we have another caller.
We're popular tonight.
Let me get her on the line.
Okay. Well, we'll have her in just a second. So, wow. Well, that was the explanation.
And it was good.
Going on.
And I'm, you know, I gathered that she was gonna say what she did. Yeah. And she did hit on some points that the power of editing. You know, it's always that's what comes down to how they want to present you on TV.
Exactly. So now we have another caller calling in. Hello, caller. You are on the air.
Hi, this is Honey Mahogany.
Why, hello, Miss Honey Mahogany. It's Honey.
Yes, God, honey.
How are you?
How are you?
We're great. How are you?
I'm excited to be talking to you.
Good. We're excited to have you. So in this last episode, we haven't got to it, but we've touched on it. It was double elimination. And I have to say, right after Ru announced that you both were going home, they cut to you and you looked shocked. I was. What were your thoughts? Did you think you had in that you were gonna make Vivian sashay away?
Well, you know, to be completely honest, I felt like I had done a good job in the lip sync. And here's the thing, like, I understand it was Britney Spears, but Oops, I Did It Again, first of all, is a very down-tempo, chill kind of song. I mean, it is. I mean, it's not like Toxic or Womanizer or something where it's like really like pumping and dancey.
Yeah.
It's just, and so then on top of that, I was in that gown. It was kind of a pencil skirt at the bottom. I couldn't really move in it. So I was serving it from the face, trying to do as much as I could, giving attitude, and then, you know, and I would walk, you know, and kind of stomp across the stage.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what Vivian was doing because I wasn't really paying attention to her. But the reason that I thought that I might stay was Vivian had gotten the critique that she wasn't standing out the week before, and then she was put in the bottom again for that same exact reason. Now, I had never been in the bottom, and I had never received any negative feedback from the judges. And, you know, and I'd been on winning teams consistent, you know, maybe not the week prior, you know, and I was in a good team, and I did well on that challenge, the challenge with the where we impersonated people.
Yes.
So I thought that I was in a strong place to, you know, stay. So when she, but at the same time, I was totally ready to get, if she's going to pick Vivian, I can't be mad because I don't know, maybe she really turned this lip sync out. But for her, you know, when she announced that both of us were going, I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Well, I think I wasn't expecting the double elimination.
I think all of America was like, what the F?
Yeah, we were like, what? Both of y'all about to go.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
I was just shocked, that's all.
Yeah. Now, how did you feel about your critiques as far as your outfits for the runway and them being all very similar? Like, did you notice that, like, as you were getting ready for the runway? Was there ever a thought like, oh, you know, maybe I should try something else? Like, you know.
Yes, totally. And there were a lot of, I don't want to bore you with all the details, but there were a lot of things that kind of led into choosing the outfits that I did.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kind of just count the first one because that was one kind of hodgepodge together, you know, maybe, you know, that was kind of different.
Yeah.
But, you know, so then I did the see-through pink, like, 12 yards of silk chiffon fabric, okay? I did that outfit, and then, of course, the next challenge was you have to wear pink. Now, had I known, would I have worn that pink outfit this time before? No, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, so it was kind of like I had to wear what I had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then for the fourth look, the challenge was to wear Diva Glam. Now, we, you know, knowing what kind of looks we had already done, I probably should not have chosen a caftan. However, I felt like out of all the looks that I had in my closet, that look said Diva the most. Like, to me, it was very old school, Diana Ross, like, you know, Diva. And that dress was actually inspired by a Jean-Paul Gaultier, like, couture dress. And so it was like, I was like, this is the Diva dress. I have to wear this dress. Now, in hindsight, looking back, I probably, like, could have done something else. I probably should have done more, you know, shown more skin. So when Michelle Visage said that to me, you know, you didn't get to see, like, our whole conversation.
Right.
I basically said, you know, you have a good point, and, you know, let me stay another week and I'll walk down that runway naked. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. I can see that. What I'm most disappointed about is that they didn't give me the opportunity to receive critique and then grow from it.
Right.
Because I think one thing that I pride myself in is that I'm a quick learner and that I do take feedback and take criticism well. But, you know, I didn't have the opportunity to kind of show that on the show, unfortunately.
Right. Now, one thing that I was shocked about was in the Untucked episode where you said in San Francisco the look doesn't matter as far as when it comes to drag. Did you want to explain that? Because I feel like with drag, and this is just my personal take, it is all about the look. Like, the minute you walk out on stage, before you do a dance, before you do a twirl, before you start lip singing, the first thing people notice is your look and what you're doing. So do you want to kind of talk about that a little bit and explain to us exactly what you mean by that?
Yes. Let me tell you, I would love to explain it to you because that comment, I'm okay with all the other bullshit that editing, does on the show, but that edit was so wrong to me on so many different levels. Because it was really insulting to San Francisco. And that is not what I had said. First of all, it was a larger conversation, and we were talking about, people's looks being polished and all this. And what I was actually saying was, well, a lot of you are pageant girls, and I really admire that, because all of your looks are so together, they're so polished, and every hair is in place. And, I said, in San Francisco, the look doesn't matter as much as the performance does. That was the whole sentence.
But you got cut off.
And then I went on to explain, so, for us, that's where we're concentrating on our concept, on what we're doing on stage. We're not as worried about the look. But with you guys, it's kind of the opposite. You're much more concerned about the look and the first impression. And I said, and what I was saying was, I have a lot to learn from you. I can learn a lot from you. And we can learn a lot from each other. But all you got to see, and all, America got to see was me saying, in San Francisco, the look doesn't matter. And I was so mad, not just because it misrepresented me, but because it made me sound like I was talking bad about my hometown, and that I was insulting the people. And this is someplace that I have to work. This is someplace that I love and live in, and for people to be rooting for me in my hometown and to hear that, I think that would be heartbreaking for them. And that is one thing I'm really, really disappointed about with the editing of the show.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. We do have AfterBuzz. You have the platform to explain yourself, and I think it's a TV show. They have everything that they need as far as editing and creating specific, even putting words in your mouth, so to speak. So it's a great thing that you called in to sort of clear the air.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I would honestly there was other things that were words that were put in my mouth in different situations, and I was like, okay, it's TV, it's fine. We're just putting characters against each other, whatever. Let it go.
Yeah.
But when it came to insulting my hometown, that's where it really kind of struck a chord with me.
Yeah. Well, on a lighter note, you have released your single called "It's Honey."
It's true.
And I watched the video the other day. I saw Raja and Jujubee make a little cameo in the video. You looked absolutely amazing in the video. I loved the whole covering of the chest and the wind blowing in your hair and the honey being drizzled all over you while you sing your song and stuff. Where can they find your single and purchase it?
They can, you can find It's Honey on basically any digital distributor out there. It's on iTunes, Amazon.com, CD Baby. I think it's all out on everywhere. Anywhere you can buy this film, you should be able to find It's Honey.
Awesome. And we'll hopefully try to maybe post a link to the video down at the bottom of our explanation, maybe.
Is this an album or what are you?
Well, I released a single, but I've been working on music for a long time, way before I went on Drag Race, writing my own music, writing my own songs, working with local producers, and I actually have I've already recorded 3 songs, and I'm mid production on about 3 more, and I've got a couple more in the back burner. So it really just depends on timing, how much time I have. I may release an EP or a full album. It's just a matter of time and money and what I can make happen. But definitely expect to hear much more.
Hey, honey, I'm the guy in the booth running the engineer. I can actually throw you a 30-second sample of your song if you'd like me to. I'm just gonna warn you. I'm gonna warn you that it'll be loud coming through your phone, so I would kind of move your ear away.
Yeah, let's get a little preview of it real quick.
Let's get a sample of some honey.
Cause it's honey.
Yes, God, honey.
You got it queued up, Steven?
Yeah, it starts out silent.
Okay. This is the AfterBuzz exclusive of It's Honey.
What? Okay, honey.
Some honey.
I'm not a dancer, sorry.
And she is giving you looks for days in this video.
This is hot.
This is production quality here.
This is like
she got some high San Francisco producers giving
chest day workout music.
Yes.
Money makes the world go round, turning everybody upside down. People lining up, shore to shore. Better hurry up so you get
All right, that is the AfterBuzz world premiere of It's Honey by Miss Honey Mahogany from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 5. So make sure you guys check it out. Go to iTunes, Amazon.com, CD Baby. Find the video on YouTube. Thank you so much, honey, for calling in, and I'm glad we were able to do that for you.
Such a good time.
No problem.
And I can't wait to come back to LA and visit you.
Yes, please do. Let me know when you're in town.
I will go. I have your number.
All right, there you go. Boom.
Boom.
Bye, honey.
All right, honey. We'll talk to you soon.
Pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure talking to you. No problem. That was a nice beat.
Yeah, that was good.
Get you some honey.
I download it.
I download it.
I paid $1.29. I do it.
And I would have totally failed the challenge because I can't dance.
It's honey.
See, I got nothing for you.
If we had more space, I would so do a Soul Train line.
I would shablam here in the studio.
We have a camera for here if you'd like us to put it up.
Get your life, Steven.
Nope, you got to do it. You just said.
You just put it out.
You put it out there.
That's okay.
Are you a liar?
How about that be our outro?
Okay, there you go. Okay, outro's good.
So we still
I'll be
have...
Michelle. You be Beyonce and
That's
the
right.
other one.
I'm always Beyonce. Get your life. You can be Michelle.
I'm Kelly.
You're Kelly.
Happy be Kelly.
All right, so we have the main challenge, the RuPaulologies, no RuPaulologies, the RuPaul ballet based on RuPaul's life. As we said earlier, Kenny and I both agreed that this was an awesome challenge and that it was one of the best challenges that they have. I was more intrigued to see how some of these non-dancing queens were going to pull out some ballet.
You know, for me, I didn't even care about the dancing. I liked the story. I thought it was just, it was really, I get the feeling that it was a true story. It was RuPaul's life.
Exactly.
And the dancing was, it was okay.
Well, we started, the first group to start off was Jinx's team. And I honestly thought that this team did really well. Alaska as Ru's mom was hilarious to me. And I thought that she was a good fit with like her facial expression and stuff. Couldn't dance for nothing, but she had her little gimmicks and she had her little Alaska-esque things.
And she committed.
And that's the thing.
She definitely committed.
She fits the bill of fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't dance, but she brought something other than dancing.
Right.
She brought her
exactly.
Character. So I liked it.
And Lanesha didn't let the fact that she had no idea who Diana Ross was get in the way of what she brought. I
find it hard to believe that anybody on the planet doesn't know who Diana Ross is. I don't care if you were born yesterday.
You know who.
Well, she does live on an island.
I don't.
Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. territory.
However, the people may not be. So it's like, you know, like I went to Hawaii and people were like, "What? Drag Race?"
If I know who Ricky Martin is, then damn it, they should know
who Diana Ross. But I feel like she lucked up because she got to just be pretty. She's got to stand there and lip sync and just do her little dance. And so good job, Lanesha, for that. Lady Bunny, Ivy Winters, and
where did that come from?
Ru started
it. Started it. Okay.
Ru. Right. Ivy Winters, and Jade Jolie. Ivy was Lady Bunny, and Jade was Young Ru.
They make a great pair.
No, I'm sorry. Jade and Lanesha were together. Ivy and Jinx were together.
Yeah. They make a great pair.
Yes, and Jinx was the gender drag. Ru. I thought they made a good pair with each other. I liked it. It was fun, and you got from them that they were really good friends and that, you know, they were just having a good time and just terrorizing New York
and
at the time they were young.
Not the best dancers, but they made it funny and they made it watchable.
Well, Jinx is so talented. Jinx is, you know, when we first started watching at the beginning of the season, I was like, and then, you know, working with them. But Jinx is probably one of these standout queens for me.
But you know why? Is because Jinx owns what she does.
Right.
Like, she doesn't try to be something else. She can only bring Jinx.
Right.
And you have to appreciate her for that. At least I do.
I just think of her as a culture club.
Boy George.
Boy George.
I'll tumble for ya.
Yeah. Why did you go with that? I automatically went to come.
That's what I thought. Every time I see her,
I have a wealth of music knowledge, so I can pull from my Rolodex in my head. That was a standout song.
Get your life. All right, and then we had the second act, which was which started out with Alyssa and Coco. So amazing.
Right. Actually, I was actually really engaged.
Yes, and I think it was more so Alyssa. Like,
of course.
Like she was so finally she showed her dancer quality.
Her shtick.
Because she didn't do that in the mini challenge. But Alyssa was, I thought she was amazing.
I was bored. I was bored with it.
Get your life, Jason
being
Carter.
a dancer myself, I'm around dancers a lot. I felt that it just wasn't that special.
Well, then you're biased because you're a dancer. Then for
But
people who
I
not
dabble
trained,
in dance.
Well,
dabble.
I didn't know you. I just met you.
I know, but I thought like the part where Ru was discussing, like, you know, Fame was, you know, getting to the certain level with her, and she was kind of having this battle between good Ru and bad Ru. I thought that Alyssa especially brought the intensity.
Sure.
And Coco brought the softness, and together, even though they have this big beef with each other, they worked really well together.
For what it's worth, though, I think that you could have removed Coco from that performance and had Alyssa, and it would have been. I just feel like they had no chemistry together. Yeah, I get it, night and day. You know, Ebony Ivory, Black Swan, whatever.
Right.
But you know what? Again, I'm biased. I just thought that it wasn't as memorable as America or the judges made it seem. For me.
I disagree. But
I think I was just pulled into the writing part of it. Like,
right.
What
that
was
colored the
yes.
situation. Sure.
Well, I mean, I was too, but I was watching it, just kind of hearing the voiceover come to life through Alyssa and Coco.
Let's face it, it's not So You Think You Could Dance. It's not gonna
No.
make me cry.
Right.
But it's just, it was still. It's good.
And then we had everyone else come out.
Can we not talk about?
I felt like the only other standout was Detox.
Yeah.
But she wasn't given a whole lot to kind of play with. I thought everything else, even Roxy, who we all seem to like.
Well, as far as the dancing goes, well, all the queens, Honey, everyone besides Alyssa was a hot mess when it came to the choreography, because they had choreography set onto them,
right,
from Travis and Nick,
right,
that was very basic. You know, Grand Jeté, there was very basic stuff that I could not believe that they could not execute. That was driving me insane.
I will say this. I will say that I thought Honey, even though lack of dance, she still, like, you could tell that she was trying.
Sure.
She was trying to give a great performance.
Well, when you think of Diana Ross, you think over the top, and I'm Diana Ross, and she wasn't giving me that at all.
Well,
and you know, it's a dancing thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, we can move on from that. So, and then also, we can touch on this just really quick. I don't know what Jade's problem was. As far as like walking around the workroom pouting because she didn't get picked by Coco. It's like, really, like, we're not in high school.
But just like high school, when you're the last one picked, that's a blow to your ego.
Well,
I'm just
somebody
saying.
has to be the last one picked. Just like
I was
someone
never
has
the
to be,
first. I was always the last.
I wasn't.
I have issues.
I didn't have to be picked because I was always team captain. Get your life together. That was me. So let's see what else. So then main stage. Suddenly we had the ballet, and then real quick the runway.
Okay, so here's my problem with that. And this was probably the one runway that I would have loved to see commentary on.
Right.
And I think that the whole ballet was so long as far as editing that they just ran too long, and they had to just bring everybody out and blah blah. Because we didn't like. I would have loved to see Lanisha Sparks' dress. I thought from what I saw, it looked interesting.
It looked beautiful.
I didn't get to you know. And I think there were a lot of things in the episode that could have been cut to make room for the runway.
Yeah,
that was the most interesting.
I think the editing on this season, though, for season 5 is
really weird.
It's weird, but they've cut out a lot of stuff that they used to fit, and there's more shots of stuff. The show moves along quite well, actually, even though it moves along a lot better.
But for this particular episode, I think the runway is more important than her face, Alyssa making faces in the mirror.
I thought that was funny when Alyssa.
I don't think it was necessary. Yeah, it was funny, but I just think that, come on. And there was a whole part where they were just really they were talking about things that we've already touched on in the show, in the series.
Yeah.
So you take those 4 minutes out and give us 4 minutes of the runway, and you'd have been fine. That's just my personal opinion.
True. Well, from what we saw of the runway, my favorite looks were Jade, Lanisha, Ivy, Coco, Detox, and Vivian.
I don't even remember because I didn't see it, and
I mean, it literally was like.
Yeah, it went by so fast. I didn't even.
And there were no explanation as to, because normally for the runway they say their runway look is this, unless I missed it, and I'm pretty sure I rewinded.
Bring your best diva. I don't know.
I don't know. I must.
It wasn't a theme.
I must have missed it because it was just kind of like, okay, girls, we're done with the ballet, and so now we're just gonna like call you back out, but whatever. So then we get to the runway, and some of the girls are safe, and whatever.
I have a problem with that too. Can I go?
Go.
Okay, so if you're gonna have two teams, you're gonna have a team challenge. I think there should be a winning team and a losing team.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think Coco's team would have lost, so Alyssa would not have won the challenge, and then someone from that team, probably Mahogany, would have gone home alone. You know what I mean? So I think it's RuPaul's show. She could do whatever she wants. But I feel like if you're gonna and this isn't the first time they've done that. I think they did this last week.
They did it last week too.
If you're gonna have team challenge, just because that makes it more interesting.
Yeah, it should be a winning team is chosen.
Right.
They're safe. And then the losing team, someone goes home.
Right. And then I think in that situation, it would have been Mahogany and Roxy in the bottom two.
Yeah.
And that would
yeah. But they decided to do everyone individually. So as you said, we on the main stage, Ru asked that question: who do you think should go home? And everyone went back, honey, Vivian, honey. Then we get to Alyssa Edwards, who says, the person I think should go home is not even on the stage. I think it should be Jade.
I agree with her.
Oh, do you think Jade is resting on?
Hell yeah.
Brandon?
I think she should have been gone a long time ago. I mean, I have nothing against her, but I just don't think, if you look at the competition, she's one of the weaker links.
Yeah.
For me. You know, even her look with the Jade, I didn't really care for that. I know you liked it. I didn't.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Little Red Riding Hood. And I like that.
Okay.
Well, okay. And then Alyssa was the winner. Congratulations to Alyssa. If Alyssa did not win this, it would have been like
sabotage.
Yeah.
And she got a free feather something or another from feathersomething.com. That's feathersomething.com.
I love you said feathersomething.com. And then in the end, we saw Vivian and Miss Honey Mahogany go home in a double elimination that everyone was apparently shocked about.
I wasn't. I was shocked that they had a double elimination. I wasn't shocked about who went home though.
Yeah,
I wasn't. I knew it.
Yeah, right, Kenny. Like Vivian, if you look at the big scope of this season and just watching it, yeah, Honey didn't, for me. I love Honey as a queen, but nothing stuck out to me. Nothing really grabbed me as far as intensity goes. I feel like Detox, Roxy, even Jade, Jinx, all those people have something that keeps you into them. And the other two, Vivian, the other two are they're cute, they're wonderful, amazing talents, but they're just, today was not their day.
Yeah,
you know.
I wasn't expecting a double elimination, and if there was going to be one, I didn't expect one this early.
Well, I mean,
they can always bring them back. They've done that.
There's always that episode where one queen comes back
to
the competition. No, I don't.
And my thing is, if she were to pick one this week, the other one would be gone next week. So I mean, make it interesting. Shake it up a little bit.
So speaking of next week, let's go into predictions.
Oh, that was quick.
You like that?
And now,
you like that?
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So next week we see that it's going to be the episode that everyone's been waiting for, Snatch Game. Yay. I absolutely love this episode. Who do you guys think will stand out in the Snatch Game? Just based on the little blurb that we were able to see, you were kind of able to see who is kind of going to be who. Who do you think will stand out in the Snatch Game?
I actually think Jade might stand out because I think she did the, I can't think, I'm blanking right now. Anyway, I think she's going to stand out. I saw her in the preview.
Jason?
No, I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, that's right, because you're there. Get your life.
Oh, you were actually there on set?
Not at liberty to say. I mean, I do have my favorites. I don't know. I mean, that's off
that
off
NDR.
That NDA. But
NDA.
I think I will tell you that it'll be an amazing episode.
Good, because
it usually is.
Last season, the Snatch Game was a snooze fest.
The best Snatch Game, season 2 with Tatiana as Brittany. What?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Which one was Jessica Simpson? Oh, that was Willem.
That was Willem. Willem was good too, and Chad is Cher. I think that
Sure, bitch.
I think Jinx is gonna be a little standout for this.
She always does. I mean, and it's comedy, and people who do comedy usually excel.
Yeah.
So
exactly. All right. So before we sign off, gentlemen, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me online at Facebook at the Jason J. Carter fan page, or follow me on Twitter at JJCForever.
Kenny?
I'm on Twitter. I'm going to spell it out. It's KAYSEEH25. And I'm on Facebook, too. Kenny C. Harrison at hotmail.com.
All right. And you can find me at Lounging with Tony on all platforms.
What is that? I saw that last week. What is that about?
I don't know. Apparently, I say too many platforms, so that's how you wrap it up. So until next time, you guys continue to watch us here at AfterBuzzTV.com. Also, don't forget to check us out on iTunes, rate us, comment, give us 5 stars, and we will see you next week on another episode of RuPaul's Drag Race After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.